Hey Zen fam! So, before I start today's video, I just want to give a little shout out to my boy. This footage behind is his. I haven't watched it, I don't know what he's done in it, but yeah, he loves Minecraft, so a little shout out to my boy. This is his gameplay. Anyway, we've had all this talk recently about PlayStation 5 and what it will and will not have, and there's been a lot of talk about the controller. Now, we all know this controller, right? A lot of people go and say that this touch bar is not important. I disagree. Although there have been a very small amount of games that have used it, some of the games that have used it have been very important games. I mean, aside from the fact of being able to swipe back and forth or up and down to gain access to particular functionality within certain titles. Not only did I mention that its technical specifications, it's also just a really nice tactile response. And consider this, one of the major things that this does, it's a big part of how you control dreams. And then the other part of the controller, the light bar. Now a lot of people are like, oh, the light bar is pointless, it destroys power. Because the light bar is important. It helps with the positional tracking of the pad. I mean, yes, there are accelerometers and stuff in here, but the position of this light and how it's angled helps in the positioning data for this. Not only that, but that positioning data is used for PlayStation VR. Okay, now what else is in that equation? PlayStation camera. Now consider this, right? The PlayStation Eye, okay, with PS2, that thing sold crazy. Okay, I had some of those PlayStation Eye games. They were a lot of fun. They were limited in their scope, and the video positioning tech was limited, but they were a lot of fun. Then we got the PlayStation camera, I forget the actual title for it, that we've got with PlayStation 3. I've got it up there. And it was great for use with PlayStation Move. PlayStation Move also used in conjunction with PlayStation VR. And yet again, those light spheres, they're important for positional data. So, you know, you've got all this light up stuff, you've got all this power happening. So, I would imagine that the next generation of this probably isn't going to be that different. I think the thing I would like to see is this grippier plastic here. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a little softer or something, but I don't know. I really love this grip plastic. I love the shape. I like the position of the arm sticks. You know, this is nice. You get a good grip of that. The triggers are brilliant. Sticks are great. I love the idea of a controller that is symmetrical. It just makes my brain happier, a symmetrical controller. Yes, I know in a lot of ways the Xbox controllers are superior in many functionality standpoints, but just the way my brain is built, I prefer this. And I like this touch pad, you know. Now, some people are saying that is the idea that the PlayStation 5 controller will get rid of this touchpad and have a touch screen. Now, I'm on the fence about that. I mean, yes, it'll be able to have the same functionality, but it will significantly drive up the price. And of course, because it's a screen, you're gonna need a better battery inside this puppy. And we all know the battery in this is not good enough. However, if you look about on YouTube, you will see various videos from people who have put a larger capacity battery inside one of these. Now yes, you will void your warranty, but the batteries fit. And also packs that you can clip on the bottom of that, but let's stay inside the model. So there are bigger batteries you can put in this, but those bigger batteries obviously cost more money, because you know, larger battery, larger money. It's always been that way in electronics. Okay? So I think the only things to really worry about is this. And I'm fine with this. I mean, a little bit more ergonomics, a little, you know, make the rumble a little bit more responsive, make the battery life a little bit better. But I don't think this really needs to change a lot. I mean, look how little the PlayStation Pad changed from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 3. Very little happened, especially considering that halfway PlayStation 1's functional life did it get the sticks. And the only reason that the DualShock 3 got to be the way it was, towards the end of the PlayStation 3's life, is because it took them a while to get the rights to have Rumble back. So with all these things in mind, the pad, VR, of course the Move controllers, and what I'm doing here, because as a lot of you probably can figure out, the way I make most of my videos, the lion's share of my content, is done on my PlayStation 4 using Share Factory, and Share Factory uses the PlayStation camera for PlayStation 4. Now, I would obviously personally like to see, Share Factory happen on PlayStation 5. I would like PlayStation 5 to have its own version of Share Factory. And I have said for the longest time in forums and stuff that what I would really like to see is for an upgrade to Share Factory, and perhaps PlayStation 5 could do this. It would have the ability to, like, say, I could film on my phone, and then see, I pick up my phone, it goes mental. There's a zillion notifications of different types. Yeah, so pick up my phone, film something on location, and instead of having to fart about with memory sticks on my computer and whatnot, just instantly dump it for either Wi-Fi or whatever, or using NFC technologies, put my phone directly on top of my PlayStation 5 and drop the footage straight on. Hell, even if it's a USB connection cable, drop it straight on from phone or whatever other device I would care to be using at that point. Maybe someday I'll be able to afford a nice video camera. Then for that nice ass video camera, straight onto the PlayStation, straight into Share Factory, thus speeding up my editing work. That would be lovely. But then I think also with that, then there would need to be like a companion app. Here's a word you've not heard for a while. Companion app. So, a version of Share Factory that goes on your phone or your tablet. Obviously couldn't go on a video camera, but there have to be some limitations. Yeah. Where you could do the editing here, or at least be able to send the files, because there'd have to be some sort of way of doing that if you're going to send the files. So yeah, send Share Factory on PlayStation 5, be able to use your phone. As a YouTuber, this would be obviously highly advantageous and rather lovely. But, of course, as I'm edging around all this, we of course have to talk about the PlayStation camera up there that's pointed down and making this video happen. So, what we're going to do about this PlayStation camera, because, you know, it's great, but it could be so much better. Now, obviously it could have better lenses, it could have a better digital zoom, which in itself would be great. A better digital zoom on the next level camera would be great, because as much as I love making these videos, I do know that if you watch me on anything bigger than a tablet, I start to look proper fuzzy in the full scale proper version of these videos, and I really don't like that. And the only reason that is like that is because I have to zoom in on myself, because my green screen only goes to, hang on, my fingers are going to disappear about there and to about there. So where my fingers ended is roughly where my green screen ends, to my point of view. But to the camera's point of view, it's literally about a couple of centimeters, about a centimeter or so either side of the screen that I record in. So it's a tight little box, so I have to zoom in on myself to make myself, that I believe to personally be the correct size on the screen. And if I didn't do myself this size, then there would be an edging of real world to the video, and that would just look really horrible. So this is what I've got. Yes, they're virtual green screens and stuff, but they always look really super janky. It's just the nature of the beast. And then of course, back on PlayStation 3, we had video conferencing. That seemed to disappear on PlayStation 4. So, obviously, I would like to see an upgrade to the PlayStation camera for PlayStation 5. Does this mean another lens? You know, something a free lens capacity? It's starting to get like smartphones now, aren't we? And I think it's just a smarter camera with better lenses. Doesn't have to be more lenses, but I think better lenses, and a better microphone in it. Now, admittedly, yes, these days I do have a dedicated microphone, as I drop half my lounge. But yeah, for the longest time, while making these videos in this green screen mode, I was using the mic outfitted to the PlayStation camera, which is how a lot of gamers out there talk online, those of us that decide to use it. In fact, it's generally speaking the cheapest form of microphone you can get for your PlayStation 4. Now, yes, the earbud does come in the box, but let's face it, we all know it. And I said it on launch night when I was making my videos at PlayStation 4, it is the ugliest, most uncomfortable, terrible lump of base level plastic ever. I mean, just, no, because I hate earphones. Now, yes, I've got my platinum headset, and that's lovely. But when you get right down to it, a lot of people who do actually speak online are probably doing it for the PlayStation camera. And the PlayStation camera is unique in one particular regard. They sold it each time. They've sold it separately, and its attach rate is better than that of the last two versions of the Kinect camera, especially the last version, because Microsoft said you had to have the Kinect camera, and that bumped up the price of the system. PlayStation said that this camera was basically a choice. You want that camera? Fine. You don't want it? Oh, so fun. But when you consider things like the tracking and Share Factory and functionality of PlayStation VR, it's a very good idea to have the camera. So that's something I think a lot of people have missed in the discussion for PlayStation 5, what is the camera going to be like? Because they've said that PlayStation 5 will have PSVR functionality, and at some point there will be a PSVR 2, and that is probably going to require a camera similar to this one. In fact, if anything, chances are the camera for the PS5, since PS5 will have the PlayStation VR functionality, will probably have to, do all the same jobs, and because it's an upgrade, it will probably do the job better, which in turn will make PlayStation VR control better. It's a win-win scenario. In that case, there's only 2 questions about it. 3 questions really. Will it be available on launch night? How much will it be? What capabilities will it have? I just thought I'd bring these little ideas to you in this video to see what you think. And of course, always, typing down below to tell me what you think is probably one of the best ways. Or even make a response video. It's all good. Anyway, I think I've expounded upon the point as much as I possibly can. So I will leave you in the manner which I always do, in saying please remember to rate, favourite, comment, share and subscribe. And of course, as always, nae bother.